Alright guys, welcome back. Today it's a little bit different, okay? Today's a little bit different. Um we're just gonna write down more of the story of what happened today, okay? Um Basically we have let's put for example, we got a good setup going on, right? Boom, 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 boom. We're following a downtrend, right? And you're thinking, dang bro, like it's looking good, you know? I'm gonna wait for it to go up to here and then it's gonna drop again, right? Yeah, no. So that's not what happened today, right? Today is a loss. Lose. Loss. Loser. Lose. Today's a loss, alright? But, 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 loss equals value. So we actually gained some knowledge today. So we're going into the trade recap, alright? Let me open my tea and let's get into this. So, today was kind of a big loss, I'm not going to lie. You know, I could have minimized, but we'll get into that later and I'll explain. Let's remove all this. Alright, so we're looking at US 30, okay? I've been analyzing US 30 for the past, day or two, right? Because yesterday we had a good day and the market went the way I said it would, right? So today I did some reanalysis. And going into this, it actually looked really amazing. So I worked out this morning, right? I ran like 2 miles or something, but then I got home after the gym and all that, and we get into the trade. I started observing the market at around 9 o'clock, and basically I restarted everything. And so the first thing I did was I went to the 4-hour time frame, right? And I had marked down the high, right? Kind of like just the past couple of days, bro. I don't know how many days it is, but just the highest point that the market's been at. One second, I gotta go pee, guys. I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. So, basically, I marked the highs, like I said, and I marked the lows, right? And this is I actually went and I marked the monthly low, right? Because I just wanted to see if it was gonna push all the way down to here. I didn't really expect it, but I marked it anyway, just to for it to be there. I divided everything by days again. And I looked at the trend. So started with the high, downtrend was going right. Boom, boom, everything's following. Lower lows, higher low, lowest. But this is where I made my crucial mistake. As you can see, the downtrend stopped. And I wasn't thinking about that, right? I wasn't thinking, hold on, this didn't break here. It didn't break that low, bro. So you know what that means. There's going to be a reversal soon from what I've learned, right? So we get into the actual analysis of the trade, okay? We go back, right? There was a 4-hour fair value gap right here, right? And this goes all the way down to when I first was making my kind of, how do I say, my prediction, right? There was the gap here, and you guys know my theory. Gaps have to be filled, right? And I was believing the gap already got kind of halfway filled up. So I was like, okay, so what's going to happen is it's going to go up, kind of fill orders, right? Meet the next high and then drop hella far down to complete the gap. Yeah, well, I was completely wrong. But honestly, bro, who knows? It might. Who knows, right? But I missed my trade, so I'm out of this now. So I marked down the gap, marked down the fair value gap, right? And I had marked down the day's high, the previous day's low, and the previous day's high, right? And then I also used the fib tool to mark down an optimal buy zone of where I would want price to reject, right? And this actually ended up falling through. But let me go back a step. Let me back it up. My prediction was I wanted to see a breakthrough on the fair value gap. And before that, I had noticed consolidation right here on the 5-minute time frame. There was consolidation between the low and the fair value gap. It's like it was rejecting each other, you know? And there was a breakthrough, right? And I think this was actually a pattern. It's like the triple bottom, right? I didn't even notice that. I just noticed it now. But there was a triple bottom, and then there was a complete breakthrough. So my first idea was it was going to go here and then drop. But thank God I was patient, right? And I let it go through, and it broke this high, right? And this is when I made my biggest mistake, and I broke my rules, right? What had happened, right, was I told myself that if it went above this line, I would be out, right? Man, I still took the trade, you know? I was saying that in my head, it would meet this high maximum, right? I even marked it down to watch out for this zone as a whole because, bro, I didn't want to become liquidity, you know? I was watching this zone specifically, and then I redid my fib tool like to make it make sense. Because I actually did it wrong the first time. This one. So this was the real discount zone retrace area. And I still hadn't bought in at this point, but I started observing this area. And when it broke the high, and it was in the discount zone, I started to think, hey, wait a minute. Maybe the banks are trying to get into this top of the discount zone for it to drop back down. No, bro. I should have stuck to my rules, bro. This was a complete break of structure. The downtrend is done. And what the fuck? Okay. But yeah, the downtrend is done, right? There was a breakage. But here was some more support of why I thought that this was going to go down, right? And I feel like I had good backing on this. I actually looked and I started to look at the times, right? So at this time, around 10, like 10 o'clock, right? Price was spiking, right? And then there was a huge drop to like 12, right? And look at the same times. It was spiking during the 9 to 10. And I thought there was going to be a reversal, you know? I thought there was going to be a huge fucking drop. Yeah, but in truth, there wasn't. So, basically, and same here. I had marked down that huge spike, and then it followed with a huge drop, following the same time frame, but it didn't. It ended up just not dropping to my point, you know, to my take profit right here, and yeah, that shit was annoying. So, I had marked all that down of all of it happening, right? But I didn't consider the fact that I stopped thinking about the fact that it broke the channel line. These ones didn't, bro. It didn't break the line every single time, you know? It just didn't. And that was my fault, you know? And I had marked down the right zone to watch out for. I feel like I had marked everything down correctly, right? But I think the main reason why I lost here, two reasons of why I lost, right? First reason, it broke the zone, right? It broke the channel line. That's a broker rule. That's a breaker rule. Secondly, these trends the same day are 2 days apart, right? Bro, I should have been observing this one because it looks a lot more like this one, right? So I feel like tomorrow another thing is like this gonna happen. So I'm gonna be observing tomorrow to see what happens, right? But not gonna lie, I don't know. But dang, bro. See, now it decides to drop. Now it decides to drop. All right, man. Cool, cool, cool. I see how it is. I see how it is, man. Um, Basically, it was really unfortunate. I probably should have played it way smarter, but I feel like I used everything that I could, all my steps and everything that fall in line. But the biggest mistake I made here that made me lose money is it broke this, right? And the market did actually, like, I'm noticing to mark down time frames because times repeat. I'm starting to notice that um times repeat themselves over and over. So in my notes as review, I'm gonna start taking down notes of times that things happen and observing these times every single day. Because right now, what I've noticed is the biggest volume, like a up or down, bro, is from like 9 to 10, right? So what I can just take from this is to be more patient and really observe a little bit better. But I feel like I learned a lot today. Um, just to go over review everything that I did step by step. Step one. Let me go open my notes. Step one, I marked the new day and I marked the previous day's highs, right? And the lows on the 4 hour time frame, right? Step two, mark the 4 hour fair value gap, right? Step three, check the channel line. It was a downtrend with no breaker structure. That's where I made my mistake. There was a breaker structure. I just didn't see it, right? Because I don't have enough knowledge, right? I need to really study more. Um, I dropped to the 1 hour, marking that 1 hour gap right there. I noticed market is reacting to the 4 hour fair value gap and the previous day's low right here, and that's when I started to make my prediction. I wanted to look for a breakthrough in the fair value gap into my discount zone for a reversal, right? Um, but that didn't happen, right? And basically, the next step would be at 9:30, right? The 4 hour fair value gap did get broken, and everything was going according to plan. I expected that by 10 it was gonna be at this high, and it was at this high by 10, right? And that's when I expected the reversal to happen. Um, and that's honestly every step that I followed into this, right? The days repeated themselves. I thought the same thing was going to happen. I feel like I made a very smart prediction, but I could have been a patience thing, but I didn't follow my rule. There was a break, right? And who knows, bro? You know what's probably gonna happen? It's probably gonna stop here or something, and then there's just gonna be a new trend following him going up. I feel like this might be a resistance point. This might be a support now. I don't know. I got to see where things go. But my observation on this is done for a little bit. It sucks that I took a L, but I learned a lot. I learned for review purposes, right? I learned that my strategy, right, needs some tweaking and improvement, but I learned to mark down time frames, right? I learned to actually another thing that I'm noticing is I'm always shorting. I'm always looking for a short position. I feel like I need to start looking for long positions too. Because I knew that it was going to spike up to here, I could have profited this whole area, So I'm going to start trying to take long positions too, because I'm noticing I'm taking just a ton of shorts. I feel like I'm hyper focusing on it. Um, Sorry, I was drinking some tea. But mark down time frames, really look for breaker structures, and if it breaks my rules like it did here, broke the channel line, do not take the trade, man. Um, I ended up losing a bit of money. It was $76, but total P&L is -21. I don't really care about the money, man. I care about the strategy, so it's no big deal. But I'm starting to see, I feel like the market is rigged a little bit, bro. Like the same thing happened 2 days in a row. You know, so I feel like catching on to those things is really gonna put me at an advantage in the market. Um, there isn't really anything else here. Let me think. I'll keep observing, bro. Hopefully my gap gets filled, or that means my gap is gonna have one loss on it. My gap theory, but otherwise it's been a pretty good day. I mean, I learned a lot. So I feel like how I treat it as like I paid for like a $76 lesson. You know, I don't take it as I just lost $76, bro. I take it as I just learned something today. So I'm gonna start implementing just keeping my strategy because I do think my strategy works. But I'm gonna start implementing time frames and seeing how the days react to each other, right? So I'll probably only be taking a trade like once every few days to see setups, you know? Taking trades every single day I feel like isn't smart. Um and this is actually, oh, just so you guys know where I actually took my trade. So I had a really good in point. I actually took it right here. I had my stop loss right here. I took it right here and I was aiming for right here. So let me just actually draw it out. It'd be a lot easier. Um, really? Okay. I had my stop loss right at that line, and I had my take profit right there, right? It got really close, you know. I was up, and then the reversal happened. Honestly, man, and I was like, dang, like, oh well, that sucks. And then basically, I turned into liquidity, man. They took me out, so oh well, things happen. But feel like it was a good setup, a good prediction, but I try my best and I'll keep learning and improving. But this is a good lesson learned. Good lesson learned, really. And I'll try to make sure it doesn't happen again. That's really all I can say. I'll try to make sure it doesn't happen again. Um, Again, it's a rule breaking thing. Like I'm breaking my rules, bro. You know, the reason why I lost again is because I broke my rule. And I feel like if you really just stick to all your rules 1 to 1, like you're good. I shouldn't have taken the trade once it broke this point. Once it broke that, I really shouldn't have taken it. But there was just a lot of like things backing it up. It was in the zone. I was thinking about the banks. I saw the time frames. I was like, "Oh crap, it is going to reverse." But right now it's election week, bro. Anything could happen. Literally anything could happen. I shouldn't even be trading. So, that's all for today, guys. Peace out.